What are different types of weights in Selenium? Selenium provides three primary types of weights to handle dynamic web elements and synchronization issues: implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluent weight. These weights help prevent exceptions like no such element exception by pausing test execution until elements are available or specific conditions are met. An implicit weight is a global setting applied to the entire WebDriver session. It tells the WebDriver to poll the DOM, document object model, for a certain amount of time when trying to find any element not immediately available. Scope applies to all driver.findElement calls throughout the entire test script. Behavior: the driver waits for the specified time before throwing no such element exception. If the element is found sooner, the script proceeds immediately. It is dynamic wait. Best for scenarios where most elements on a page have a consistent, predictable loading time. Caution: it is generally not recommended to mix implicit and explicit weights within the SAM script due to potential unpredictable behavior and longer than expected wait times. An explicit weight is a targeted, condition-based weight applied only to a specific element or a specific condition before proceeding with the next step in the code. It is implemented using the WebDriver wait class in conjunction with expected conditions. Scope applied to specific elements or actions. Behavior: the script waits until a defined condition, for example, element at a clickable, visibility of element located, presence of element located, is met within maximum timeout duration. It polls for the condition by default every 500 milliseconds. Best for dynamic web applications where element loading times vary, and you need to wait for a specific state, like clickability. Caution: it is generally not recommended to mix implicit and explicit weights within the SAM script due to potential unpredictable behavior and longer than expected wait times. A fluent weight is an advanced and highly customizable version of the explicit weight, offering more flexibility. Scope applied to specific elements, similar to an explicit weight. Behavior: it allows users to define the maximum timeout, the frequency of checking the condition, polling interval, and specify which types of exceptions to ignore while waiting, for example, no such element exception. Best for scenarios with highly unpredictable loading times or complex conditions where you need fine-grained control over the waiting mechanism, polling frequency, and exception handling. Caution: when using fluent weight in Selenium, the primary caution is its complexity and the potential for performance issues if not configured correctly. It provides fine-grained control but requires careful implementation to avoid making tests slow or flaky. Non-Selenium weights. Thread.sleep. This is a static wait, a Java construct, for example, that pauses the execution for a fixed duration regardless of whether the element is ready or not. It is generally considered a bad practice and should be avoided in reliable test automation.